to what the BFRO said. And I found that very interesting that there would be such a conflict. You would think that if something was happening, the BFRO would want to report on it, right?
Right.
So that struck me that there was a discrepancy between the brothers and the organization. So I actually looked up, I found the BFRO's website, and I found their report from when this happened.
That's what we do. We go the extra mile, Enigmites.
That's right.
We
and
read.
It's long. That's right. We try to, yes. But it's long. There's a lot. It's correspondence between the researchers, the two guys, Miles and Roger, and actually Roger's father, who was an experienced hunter. The three of them actually went to the site with the brothers, and it's correspondence between them and the people at the field, at the organization. And it's a lot. And like any good book, I read the beginning, skimmed through the rest, and read the end.
Right.
Because there's a lot there. But I did find it very interesting because it tends to be what the brothers were kind of saying that the organization wasn't telling the truth, because this actually, their report, lengthy as it is, seems pretty tame. It doesn't really, it doesn't detail, oh, they were swarming us all night and we were firing around. It doesn't go into that. It does say that, we heard noises in the woods. We saw off on the tree line some movement, but it doesn't detail any sort of a siege. And I found that very interesting. And I think at some point I would like to do a full read through it. But from what I did read, I thought it was interesting. And I do just want to read the end here. Let me pull this up where I saw this. So one constant thing that I kept seeing was they attributed the reason that this was happening to actually what you had said earlier was the hunting. They feel that, Bigfoots or whatever creatures are out there, they're typically not herbivores. They're omnivores. So if there's fresh meat, they're hungry.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole gist of their report is these guys need to just stop hunting and they'll stop getting attacked. Right. And so I just want to read the end here. I guess this was the wrap up of the report after they had left and before the brothers wound up disappearing. So I'm just going to read this part real quick.
Go for it, bro.
All right. So it says here, as with any small town situation, word got out about what was happening on the property. Not only did everyone seem to know what was going on, but the location soon came under surveillance from the State Fish and Game Office. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The MIBs. The residents could no longer go hunting Bigfoots off the back porch or shoot indiscriminately into the night. The family was eventually persuaded to stop shooting the creatures and instead deal with the underlying cause of the problem. They needed to get rid of all the deer meat and stop hunting deer on the property. The increased presence of fish and game vehicles in the area made that argument a lot easier to sell. It wasn't long before that they indicated everything had died down. They said the Bigfoots seemed to keep a greater distance. They were heard off in the distance and then the nearby hilltops, but did not try to enter the home again. The family heard less and less vocalizations as the weeks went on. Eventually, the vocalization ceased altogether. It was assumed the animals moved into the animals they called Bigfoot, assumed the animals moved into a different area. There was plenty of places for them to go. A few weeks later, the BFRO sent another investigator to the area to explore and solo camp in the vicinity of the home. She went well prepared and camped for a few days alone with her dog. She returned a few weeks later with a camera, and the camera had nothing definite on it. So it seems that, again, their report made it seem pretty tame. So it's interesting.
There's definitely a conflict there, man.
Are the brothers telling the truth or the BFR telling the truth? Because, not that I'm picking sides here, but I'm inclined to more believe that a Bigfoot organization would want this kind of story. They would want to publish something like this, right?
Right.
If there was an actual siege.
Yeah.
This would be groundbreaking for them. Why wouldn't they want to publish something like that?
Yeah.
For them to just be like, oh yeah, we saw and heard some stuff in the distance and it went away. It's kind of confusing, but who knows?
Fiduciary, Steve. Fiduciary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody's not telling the truth here. Somebody's not telling the truth.
Yep.
Anyways, before we wrap it up, Steve, you know how we do.
Mm-hmm.
Did it happen, Steve? Did it go down? Or did it not go down?
I'm conflicted. And as the typical cynic, I'm going to say the siege did not happen.
Okay.
Maybe as the brothers described it.
Right.
But I will not discredit the fact that they saw something. I just don't think it was intense as what they say happened.
A 3-day battle? For real?
You really?
Like 3 days, right? Like three nights?
3 days, 3 nights.
Yeah.
Just chilling on their roof and just firing out the windows.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like, so,
hunting off swarms of Bigfoots. Something to me just doesn't add up.
Day 2. Steve's not going to make it. I've got enough water for 12 more hours. my only chance is to make a break, to make a run for it at dawn. That's it, right? So yeah, man, like a 3-day gun battle, man. Yeah. So percentage wise, 80-20, where are you at, Steve? 80, where are you at on the truth meter here?
On the truth meter, I'm on the low end.
Really?
I would say, yeah. I don't think it happened nearly as big as what they say. I think maybe, again, obviously, and yes, it was documented that the family was gone, the family moved out, and you know, there was the document of the other logger who said he saw a Bigfoot carrying another Bigfoot. Right. So people saw something. People saw something, and it's documented. Was it carrying another Bigfoot? Was it Bigfoot swarming these people's houses? That to me is a little far-fetched. But something happened out there, yes.
So you're 80% in on Portlock. Where are you at percentage-wise on this?
I think I might be on the opposite spectrum. I think I'm 20% on the full story.
There you go. There you are. Those are your normal numbers right there. Yeah, 20%, right? So I'm going to shock you on this, man.
Happened.
I'm going to shock you on this, man. I'm going to shock you. I'm at a 70%. I'm not all in, and I'll tell you why before I go. Now, now look, I'm all in that they killed a Bigfoot, that they shot and killed something. Mm-hmm. I just don't know if it was a war. Now, and I do believe that the little girl saw something. I do believe the 60-year-old woman, something did take her, right? Something got her. The logger did see 2 Bigfoots carrying a dead one and reported it independently to their story. I do think that they shot and killed it. And I do think for one night they had to fight it off. And that's where I think the story ended. That's where I think they left.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.